So, just day one. How does day one this year compare to day one last year?
Definitely lighter for sure. I think day one last year, my head was spinning a little bit coming from Europe, and we were obviously trying to get ready for the Europe trip. So we're obviously putting offense in, and compared to now, we're just making sure the newcomers are up to speed with what we had from last year, just the basics. It's definitely good to recap on the little things that we were focused on last year, just to tighten up the screws and all that. So that was good.
How did it just one day? But how did the newcomers kind of start to pick up things on this first day?
I think they picked it up pretty well. Obviously, I think all the guys are pretty good hoopers, obviously, because they're here. So I think it's just a matter of them, getting the concept and the offense and getting used to that. So I think it's as long as they do that, then they'll be fine.
I mean, do you have a few things to tell these freshmen that you've got in here now? I mean, you being a year old yourself.
One thing I told them yesterday when we had different runs, just we're not going to let you struggle. They didn't let me struggle last year. They helped me along the way because they knew as long as I was doing better than the whole team do good. So I think that's one thing I wanted to harp on, was just making sure that they didn't feel alone, and we're here for them, and we're trying to make them as good as everybody else, so we can be the best team we can.
Just mentally, compared to last year at this time, just where do you think you are? How much do you think you've done in that respect?
I think mentally, I see the game differently. It's definitely slowed down. Just being patient and obviously growing on the court and off the court, and my weight, I'm getting stronger. So I think that goes into a lot of not just my mental aspect, just physical, and being able to play the game and get to my spots and do what I want to do on the court.
What's your goals this season for just how you'll be able to impact the offense?
I think just being a playmaker just for myself and others, and obviously defensively especially. That was the main thing I learned last year. Defense fuels the team and not just myself. But I think as long as I play good defense, I think I'll be able to be set and do it on the offensive end.
As you reflect back on last year, what are your other takeaways from kind of what you did and how you developed, and how do you now build on that going into the next year?
Ball handling was something that I really focused on this off-season. Also, as I continue to go into the season, it's something I focus on, just to relieve pressure from the point guards and Braden and all of them. So I think that's huge for me, and it obviously gives me, like I said, I'm going to be a playmaker for myself and others, and it gives me an opportunity to do that when I have the ball in my hands and creating for others and myself. So I think that's huge, and just working on my ability to score off the dribble. I think that's something that I didn't do last year, just because of obviously having Zach. So that brings a lot of attention to him, and having those open shots. That's what I took. So I think just not being one-dimensional and just showing how I can score at all three levels.
What have you been doing in the last 2 months since things ended?
I didn't declare for the draft, but I've been with my agency that I signed down in Miami for the pre-draft. So all the guys that have been down there, they've been preparing for the draft. So I've been getting good quality work with them and NBA level trainers. So I think that was really good for me.
With Zach leaving, obviously there's going to be a different dynamic offensively. Just I know it's early, you guys have practice one day, but what do you kind of expect that to look like, and how do you think you'll fit in there?
I think I can. It's hard to say. Obviously, like you said, it's the first day of practice, but I think I can see us running more. Just obviously, I think we're more athletic than we were last year. I think we got a lot of guys that can get down and play defense, and we'll be able to run and get steals and make good plays on the defensive end, just so we can turn those points over and get easy points.
Have you seen Daniel Jacobson's clips from the overseas?
I have.
Do you think he'll be fine defensively?
I think he looks pretty good. Obviously you can't really tell how someone's going to transition from college to high school, which I think obviously he'll get used to it. He'll get stronger and adapt to the game. So I think he'll be fine. I have seen him clips, and I'm really impressed with how he plays.
Zach, you drove a lot of the rebounding last year.
Yeah.
Where do you guys kind of make up for that production now? And is that more of maybe a perimeter? The perimeter guys have to be a little bit more active on the boards.
I definitely do think that the perimeter guys can be more active on the boards. Especially myself, I think that's something I can work on other than scoring and having the ball in my hands. That's always something that you can work on. The other things like playing defense, scoring, rebounding, passing, the little things. I think that's obviously something we can always improve on and help the team win.
Without Zach's protection at the rim, but defensively, what kind of team can this be defensively? With maybe is there a chance for more ball pressure out front and doing some different things with the lineups that you guys can throw out there?
I'm not sure. Obviously, it's the first day of practice, but I think, like I said, we have a lot of guys that can get down and guard that are scrappy. Like Lance, that type of guys. I think I see that in CJ and Jakari, and that excites me because I think it just, like I said, it helps us and it fuels us on the offensive end.